Hey everybody, welcome back to Travel Trailer Nation. Today we're going to talk about what that little sticker on your travel trailer means, but before we get to that, I have other things I'd like to talk to you about, which is really more around being safe with your tow vehicle, because all of these things work together to make sure that you can get safely to your destination. And there's more detailed information on all of this at our website, traveltrailernation.com, or in either of our books, Guide to Enjoying Your Travel Trailer or Your Guide to Purchasing a Travel Trailer. And there's a reason I put it into both books, and that was because I think this is absolutely important information to have. And read this first before you decide to buy a travel trailer, because it's going to be the best thing for you. Won't make you look for another travel trailer afterwards. You won't have to look for a different tow vehicle if you go in prepared for what you're able to tow safely. So if I were going to give any advice to anyone looking for a new or used travel trailer, I'd have two pieces of information I would want to share with them. One, know what your vehicle can tow safely. It's not the dealership's job to tell you that your vehicle can tow that trailer. And in fact, if you take their word for it, you'll probably end up disappointed and be very unhappy, because quite frankly, it's not their job. Their job is to sell you a travel trailer, pure and simple. It's your job to know what you're capable of handling. To understand the sticker that's on the side of the trailer, because that's going to tell you the carrying capacity of that travel trailer, and that is just important as the carrying capacity of your tow vehicle. So let's talk briefly about why it's not the dealership's job to make sure that your vehicle can tow your trailer. It's because you're going to need all of this information that they, quite frankly, don't have. You're going to need the following information: the gross vehicle weight rating of your tow vehicle. This is usually listed on a tag or a sticker inside the driver's side door jamb. So get that number ready. This is the maximum weight allowable of your vehicle. So once you know the net weight of your vehicle and you know the max weight of your vehicle, then you're going to know what you can safely have inside your vehicle as far as payload. And so you'll hear payload mentioned often. My payload is around 2,240 pounds. So between the net weight of the truck and the max weight, I have 2,240 pounds to deal with, which means I have to account for my passengers, my fuel, my topper, which is 435 pounds, and anything else that I decide to throw in the back under the topper in the bed, which would be something like the Blackstone, which I believe weighs around 60 pounds, and then I have a couple odds and ends. So you have to make sure that you're not exceeding your payload, okay? So now on top of all of that, don't forget that you have to account for your tongue weight, and tongue weight is going to be the weight that's transferred to your hitch, and that usually is around 10 to 15% of the weight of the fully loaded travel trailer. You're also going to need to know what your towing capacity is. And ordinarily, you can look this up on your manufacturer's website. You'll need to work through a number of things on there to determine what it actually is. Usually they will have your axle size, they'll have the type of transmission, your engine, the size of your bed, what kind of a crew cab you have, and you have to follow all of that through to make sure that you've got the right model, and then it should tell you what your towing capacity is. The second thing you'll want to know beyond that is what's the gross combined vehicle weight rating. In other words, with my truck and my trailer together, what is the maximum weight that I can safely tow? And when we talk about this, I always say, please stay within your limits. When you start running up on the upper end, it becomes very unsafe. So you should always try and stay safely within your limits. Give yourself a cushion. Don't go right up to the limit and say, I'm good, because chances are you might not be. So follow all that stuff through and through the manufacturer's towing guide, and at least you'll come up with those numbers, okay? And this should explain to you why an RV dealership will never be able to tell you what your vehicle is going to tow, because they're not going to go through all the mental gymnastics that it takes to arrive at what you can tow safely. Because again, they're just there to sell you a trailer, and it's really your job to make sure that you can tow it safely. Okay, so let's get on to the other part of the equation, which is the unloaded vehicle weight, or the sticker that's on your travel trailer. It's going to give you two weights. It's going to give you the empty weight, which is the manufactured weight at the factory, which probably doesn't include the weight of the battery or the LP tanks. So when you look at that dry weight, in my case, I believe I'm 7240. I don't know how good my memory is anymore, but I believe it's 7240. I'd have to add in the propane, so 40 pounds there, and then whatever the battery weight is, to see what I'm really at, what I would consider dry weight. Okay, so then you've got your max weight, and in my case, I believe it's 89.95. So the difference between that empty weight and the 89.95 is what I am allowed for cargo. Okay, so why is it important to know what my cargo weight capability is? Well, because you don't want to be overloading your travel trailer. And if you do overload it, there will be consequences. There's going to be consequences to your suspension, to your tires, to your axle, and potentially even to your frame. So these are numbers that you're going to want to stay under. So very important. Make sure that you're not overloading things when you're camping. There's a section in one of our books when I say how much house is too much house. So keep that in mind. When you go camping, even if you're going for months, and we've gone for months, I don't take everything with me. I'm not like, hey, don't forget the crock pot or the Instapot, or let's make sure we take all these big appliances with us, because it just doesn't make a lot of sense, and that adds up an incredible amount of weight. So you always want to stay within your range. If you feel like you need to weigh everything when you put it in, then you should. But don't forget things like lawn chairs and carpets and all of that stuff. It adds weight. Okay, so once you've got all that out of the way, if you really want to know what your trailer weighs, go to a weigh station and weigh it. And then it will probably give you a good feeling about where you're at, and whether you need to maybe start going a little bit lighter, or whether you're in good stead. So when you're looking for a travel trailer, you need to, one, be knowledgeable about the tow vehicle you've got, because that's your job. It's not their job. And two, you need to be knowledgeable about that sticker on the trailer. And I will say this, I would look at it real close if I'm shopping, because I want to know that I've got some leeway for storage in the trailer. If it's got some really small number of pounds that's available for storing goods in the trailer, because remember, it's bedding, sheets, utensils, plates, glasses, all of that stuff gets added into that weight. And if it looks like, you look at that sticker and you say, wow, that's not a lot of weight, then don't go that route. Play it safe and be within your limits. And remember, it's like I always say, you're not the only one on the road. There's a lot of other people that are traveling the highway. They're not in a travel trailer, and they're just trying to get from destination A to B. If you start pushing your limits, what's basically going to happen is there's going to be a bad day for you and potentially someone else on the road. Now, here's a great calculator you can use. Go to whatcanitow.com, and you can plug in all the information we just talked about now and see if you're well within your limits. And I'll throw mine up. I did a little guesswork on some of it, but I have all the main things I have in. The only thing I was really guessing at was the cargo weight in the truck. So take a look at that. That is a great resource. It'll tell you if you're safe. And all I'm really looking for you guys to do is have a safe and happy camping experience. So till next time, happy camping.